Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Sean Leary. Welcome to West Deptford's Union Field. We join the first round of the American Legion playoffs in progress, top of the second inning. And due to technical difficulties, we could not bring you the first inning. There was no score, but as you see, West Deptford with a couple of base hits, unable to cash in as they had the bases loaded with 2 outs. And the Southern Cape pitcher able to record a strikeout. Southern Cape versus West Deptford here, first round of the American Legion playoffs. Leading off here for Southern Cape in this second inning is Andrew Jansura as he takes the second pitch for a ball, 2-0 now. Jansura, the cleanup hitter, as the pitcher for West Deptford. Justin Trudell able to retire the the Southern Cape team in order.
Yeah, and what he did is he just stayed in front of the hitters. He was throwing first 2 batters. Threw the first pitch for a strike, stayed ahead of the batters, kept them off balance, and breezed through that first inning.
Just 11 pitches in that first inning as he throws a fastball, swung on and missed by Jansura, 2-2. Just to give you an idea of the contrast, the opposing pitcher from Southern Cape, his name is Will Moore. He threw 34 pitches in that first inning, so he's going to be hard-pressed to go the distance. 7 innings tonight in this first round. Here's the 2-2 in the dirt with the off-speed pitch, and the count goes full.
Including 5 pitches that he wasted throwing the ball with Anthony Scarrato at the plate. Scarrato had men at first and third. More wisely pitched around.
Fastball misses high, and the Southern Cape has their first base runner. It's Jansura, the cleanup hitter. Nobody out here. Jansura to first base. That'll bring up Randy Sturm. Sturm has a brother on the team, Dustin Sturm, who is their leadoff man. Randy 2 years older than Dustin. Dustin led off the game with a strikeout, and Southern Cape will try to create here in this second inning. Justin Trudell on the mound. Pitcher out of Pennsville. He'll be a senior this upcoming year.
That's a terrific arm behind the plate with Jason Williams, kid who graduated from West Deptford High School in 2003. He has a cannon behind home plate.
The 0-1 grounded up the middle, and ball bobbled, but picked up by the second baseman and thrown ill-advisedly, but Brownell throws it over to first late as Mike Carr just simply kept the ball in front of him and ensured the 1 out, the forced play at second base. Score that 6-4.
That ball looked like it ate up Michael Carr. At least they get an out on the play, so.
Carr, the shortstop, attends West Virginia Wesleyan. Quite a few kids locally.
Yeah, a couple guys there. Ray Gezzi also went to West Virginia Wesleyan, a kid from Pennsville. Or excuse me, Paulsboro. West Deptford Legion, Rob, has some good teams, good area teams. When you join Pennsville and West Deptford together, mix in a couple of Paulsboro and Gateway kids, it's a pretty nice lineup, nice roster that you have.
No question. West Deptford, one of the most talented teams in South Jersey in the high school season.
As was
to really dominate.
Pennsville for the last few years is 2-time defending state championship coming into this year.
Ground ball, Taylor made double play. The flip, Carr over to first base in time to get Hal Bruner. A 4-6-3 double play, and that retires the side. After 1 1/2 innings, West Deptford and Southern Cape are scoreless. We'll stay here, and again, we'll talk a little bit about this West Deptford team. As coming up for West Deptford will be Jake Brownell, who is known for his football exploits. Of course, we had the West Deptford Overbrook South Jersey final where Brownell really shined in that game. Ray Gezzi, who we spoke about out of Paulsboro High School, and Zach Kapler, who a real contributor at Pennsville in 2003. So you talked about this team drawing from 3 areas. Primarily Gateway with 1 player on the team, but it's primarily Pennsville, Paulsboro, and West Deptford. And here you see it with the 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Yeah, it's a terrific team. This is the #1 ranked team in this area, in this league. They had a choice to where they wanted to play. Of course, they're going to want to stay home at probably the finest place to watch a baseball game in Gloucester County. You'd probably be hard-pressed to find another facility like this in South Jersey. This Union Field, just a terrific facility to watch a game. And they chose to stay here along with Washington Township, who was the second seed in this league. They chose to stay right here at West Deptford. They played earlier against Lakeland. The score wasn't posted when I was looking at the scores.
7-4 Washington Township victorious in that first game over Lakewood. And as you mentioned, quite a facility here. There you take a look at the opposing pitcher for Southern Cape. His name, as we mentioned, Will Morey. And Morey, 3 pitches in his repertoire. Pretty straightforward. Fastball, curveball, and changeup. He is being DH for, as is Trudell for West Deptford.
Well, they say he could throw most of those 3 pitches for strikes, but he really worked around the West Deptford hitters in the first inning. Not really giving them too much to look at. A couple of balls went through the infield on the left side of the infield. Nothing really hard hit. The only thing that might have been really considered a hard hit was Matthew Sanders with the bases loaded. Ripped one down the left field line, but it was foul.
Well, right away you get a sense that Will Morey is a nibbler, always trying to just work on the corners. But again, he's thrown quite a few pitches already, and he misses with that first one. It's 1-0 to Brownell. Give you an idea, 34 pitches in that first inning. And for Trudell, through 2 innings, he's thrown just 22 pitches, 11 in each, the first and the second inning. Morey's 1-0 is a fastball for a strike. Count evens at 1.
Well, he hasn't found his groove yet. And one of the things that you know a pitcher is going to usually have a good outing is if they're keeping the ball down. And so far, Morey hasn't done that. He's kept the ball up. West Deptford really just hasn't taken full advantage of it yet.
Talk a little bit about Brownell, a solid defensive player at second base. Again, able to start that double play. Ball misses high. You mentioned before, very talented football player. Hit 380 during the course of the season in Legion. And this is a team that can really hit, and I think they really benefit from the short fences here at Union Field.
He's got a home run on the season. He batted coming into this game 390. You're right, Rob. He's a good football player. Excellent leg. One of the top legs in South Jersey. Terrific kicker, but also plays a nice wide receiver for the West Deptford Eagles. The second leading scorer this year on the basketball team. Terrific athlete.
Here you see Ray Gezzi, who led the team in RBI. And he has Brownell at first base with nobody out here. So Will Morey once again going deep in the count and struggling to find the zone. Fastball grounded to the hole. That's short. And only one play. That's over to first base. Nicely done by the shortstop for Southern Cape May. That is Dustin Sturm. And in time to get Gezzi on the play. Brownell advances to second base. 1 out now.
Yeah, nice play by Sturm. He's got a nice arm at short. Now we were talking early on, we thought he was kind of misplaced in the field in the top of the first inning, or in West Deptford's first inning.
Zach Kapler out of Pennsville plays now at Belmont Abbey, and he takes the curveball for a ball. It's 1-0.
Big Zach, 6'3", $190. Graduated during the 2003 season.
Fastball grounded up the middle over the head of the pitcher. Knocked down, throw over to first base. Not in time to get Kapler, as Roskowski had a little bit of trouble as Morey could not elevate to get that ground ball. And once again, Morey finds himself in trouble. And I believe they will record that as a hit. They do. So Brownell at third base, Kapler at first here with just 1 out.
Well, if Zach is 6'2", he probably doesn't get there. And he needed every bit of 6'3" to stretch that leg to first base. It was a bang play right at first, but this is another opportunity for West Deptford. Morey's really worked himself into trouble.
Morey's first pitch is a strike, 0-1, ahead of Lacey, as he was in his first at bat. Lacey grounded out to the shortstop. He's 0 for 1 on the evening. Now again, you have the first and third setup here, and at this level of play, very commonplace to see a double steal executed. Something you don't see very often at the major league level, but it was executed last night. Juan Pierre taking one off the double steal on a first and third situation. Something you rarely see at the major league level.
And you'll never see it with the Phillies. I think if I was on the roster, I would be considered the fastest guy on the team, and by no stretch, if anybody's ever seen me run, I can't run. That team, the Phillies are so slow. But that goes to show you, and I don't want to talk about the major leagues, but in baseball, you need a well-rounded team, Rob. And you probably know that as a coach. You need a guy at the top of the order that can get on base, steal some bases, and Lacey is that type of guy for West Deptford.
Again, Maury trying to find the spot, unable to do so. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Lacey with 21 steals leads the team, coming in with a .376 average.
Fastball misses down low, and once again the bases are loaded here with West Deptford Legion players. And Mike Carr, who grounded in the hole between third and shortstop last inning at the plate. So 1 for 1 on the evening for Mike Carr. Interesting choices. Maury will go from the full windup here. And Kapler will take a big secondary lead. Pitch misses high.
He keeps going high. Maury with his pitches. He's just seems like he's uncomfortable out there. And if he's nibbling, you got to reconsider what he's his approach.
Again with the off-speed pitch fouled away. Carr count evens at 1-1. Carr with a good at bat last at bat. Fouled one off, went full until he had a sharp ball between third base and shortstop. One advantage for Maury here, of course, is with the bases loaded, able to turn 2 if he can get the ground ball. Again, curveball in the dirt. Good job there by the Southern Cape backstop, Ryan Wall. Now, that's an appropriate name for a catcher.
Yeah. Does a nice job of getting over. That's a tough job when you behind the plate. You get one of them curveballs or split-fingered into the dirt.
2-1 delivery, off-speed, fouled away, and Mike Carr would like that back.
He might even went after a bad pitch. That looked like it might have been a little high again.
Maury living dangerously here. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Carr. Bases are loaded. Brownell at third base, Kapler at second, and Lacey at first. The 2-2. Curveball grounded back to the pitcher. Maury fields to Wall, over to first base. Double play. 1, 2, 3, double play, and Maury escapes trouble once again. After 2 complete, West Deptford and Southern Cape are scoreless. Welcome back to Union Field here. West Deptford and Southern Cape in the first round of the American Legion playoffs. We start the 3rd inning. Leading off, Ryan Wall takes a strike, 0-1 from Justin Trudell. Trudell's curveball misses outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. It's going to be Wall, Rubos, and Roskowski, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Southern Cape. Line drive into center field. That'll fall in for a base hit. And that's the first hit of the evening for Southern Cape. Little humpback liner as Wall leads the way. Now, in Legion, you do not get the courtesy runner for the catcher until there are 2 outs, whereas in high school baseball, of course, you can run for the catcher with no outs, as the case is.
I don't know if I like it or dislike the rule.
I'm glad you took a stance on it.
I don't think I'm going to.
I'll call you Switzerland for the rest of the evening.
If they think it's a good idea, I'm with them.
Hacking on the first pitch is Rubos. Ill-advised swing there, and he fouls out to the first baseman. Ray Gezzi, one out here.
Now, obviously, you know the reason why they have that rule in place.
Well,
maybe speed up the game a little bit for people who don't know.
I think there's a lot of things that they could do to speed up baseball. I'm a baseball coach. You know, the games are taking way too long. You know, around here, of course, we have the Diamond Classic where they have the speed up rules, and typically a baseball game lasts, you know, under an hour and a half. Now, I'm not proposing that they all have to be under an hour and a half, but I tell you, there's no reason why they shouldn't be shorter. Again, first pitch swinging in is Evan Roskowski, and he will fly into shallow right field. A little confusion out there as Brownell and Kapler converge on the ball, but it's Brownell who comes away with it. So 2 pitches and 2 outs. Again, we talked about the contrast between these 2 pitchers. Trudell coming into this inning just 22 pitches. Here in this inning, he's thrown 2 of the last 2 hitters and just 5 on the inning. So Morey has thrown 52 through 2 innings. And again, as a coach, you have to love the economy of Justin Trudell.
And Trudell, he really got a chance this year to showcase his skills at Pennsville. John Humphreys.
Now, again, you got to give him a take sign there. They do not, and he's quickly out. So a major mistake there, and we'll talk about why that's a mistake when we come back. But we're through 2.5 here, and Southern Cape and West Deptford are scoreless. We're going to stick around here now. We talk a little bit about why the mistake. You know, you have a pitcher on the hill. He's thrown 52 pitches in 2 innings, and what you need to do is give him an opportunity to sit down and regenerate, reinvigorate, and swinging after a quick at bat, a relatively quick at bat by Ryan Wall, and then 3 straight pitches to Rubos, Roskowski, and Sturm. Don't be surprised if Morey struggles, maybe not this inning, but the next inning, because again, he's got to have an opportunity over there to catch a second win.
You're exactly right, and even if you get just a good at bat, a long at bat from here to there, I mean, you got a nothing game. You got to make sure if this is a guy you want on the hill tonight, you don't want to send him back out there that quickly. And we think it's a mistake. We'll see if it costs him here. But this kid's working a little magic
I mean, there's just certain things in baseball that, you know, have to be done, and that's one of them.
Going back to the catcher rule, for maybe some parents who don't know about the rule in high school, what you allow the catcher to do is to come back in and put his equipment on. And that gets things a little bit speed up. If they're on the bases and they're running, then they're going to have to come back, get all their gear on.
Never quite understood really the speed up role for the pitcher per se. I guess so he doesn't have to go get his glove and then run back out to go. But you know, typically takes, you know, it's something that you see in the major leagues. I mean, pitchers are running for themselves. But to be honest with you, as a coach, you know, it just gives you a little bit more in terms of your arsenal. Now, we talked about the speed-up rules in the Diamond Classic here. In the Diamond Classic, it's mandatory that you run for the catcher and pitcher, whereas in high school, it's optional, typically. Bottom 3 here, and leading off things for West Deptford, Humphreys takes one in the dirt. Ryan Wall has seen quite a few balls down in the dirt today. He's going to look like a big bruise by the end of the night.
I knew I was going to mention Trudell, who's got a real great chance. He was named the Salem County Player of the Year this year because this guy was injured for most of the high school season.
That's an excellent point. Humphreys was really the Pennsville ace, and of course, when we played them this year, I guess I should tell everybody what I'm talking about. I'm the head baseball coach at Eastern High School, but when Pennsville came in to play us, we had every anticipation that John Humphreys would be the pitcher. It looked like they set up their rotation. In fact, they did, but Humphreys hurt his arm, and as a result, we did not see Humphreys. And despite that, Pennsville still came out on top via a home run in the 7th inning by Ed Cloping, who's not starting tonight for West Deptford. So that kind of indicates the depth of this West Deptford Legion team. Ground ball sharply hit to the second baseman, and quickly thrown out is John Humphreys. Scored 4-3, staying down on the ball nicely. Evan Roskowski, 1 down here, and Morey really needs an inning where he can get through it quickly.
Yeah, he certainly does. And it's all by throwing strikes. If you're able to throw strikes, you're going to get it in and out. I mean, whether they're hitting you around a little bit is a different story, but chances are if you're throwing strikes, you're getting the ball over the plate, you're certainly not going to get tired.
Ryan Wall looking for an equipment change as his helmet has come undone. He'll come out and get new headgear. And Jason Williams will step to the plate. Jason Williams, kind of interesting because Williams hitting in the 4-hole, and then speaking with Tom Jones Sr., the head coach of the West Deptford Legion team, he said, you know, Jason is someone that really struggled offensively at the beginning of the year, but has truly come around. And I think that the fact that they have him hitting in the cleanup spot speaks volumes about the confidence they have in this young.
He's got four homers on the season. Came into this game batting .360. The team overall average is .381.
That's gaudy. It's like a typical wardrobe from Sean Leary.
Oh, yo.
1-0.
Your funniness is wearing thin on me, pal.
Your outfit or my jokes? Ground ball to the shortstop. Once again, it's going to be Sturm. He'll field cleanly throw, and Williams is out by 2 steps. So the play goes 6-3. Quickly 2 outs here for Maury, and Scarrato with 2 outs here. And this is the situation, if you are the Southern Cape coaching staff, you want to see Scarrato come to the plate with nobody on base where he can really do limited damage.
And this is where you tell your pitcher now to go after him. You don't want to give him anything fat over the plate so he can drive it out of here.
Curveball in the dirt once again. Now, the last time Scarrato was up, he came up with runners on first and third with 2 outs. And West Deptford, you know, again, I think opting not to steal second base so as to not allow an open base to intentionally walk Scarrato. Despite that, Southern Cape showing the utmost respect by not throwing him a single fastball in that at bat and walking him on 5 pitches, loading the bases, and of course that led to a strikeout by Matt Sanders and Maury able to escape. 2-0 pitch is fouled back by Scarrato. 2-1.
Talking with Anthony this year, he said and one of the things that he does, and he credits to being a really great hitter, is he sees the ball extremely well. And he's able to pick up the pitch immediately once it leaves the pitcher's hands. He's able to see the curve. He can hit all different pitches. So just because they're throwing him, they're breaking pitches. He's not a guy who is afraid to take a look at a couple of breaking pitches. And some guys in high school really do have problems and struggle with the off-speed.
One of the things, if you take a look at his stance, he's slightly open, which a lot of people will argue that gives you a little bit of a better opportunity. He takes a very small stride, and he's not going to get beat with the off-speed pitch because of that limited stride, and able to generate power by just simply
staying back a little
exactly.
Bit. And nice pitch that time by Maury, a little curve on the outside part of the plate, and they're going to set up same spot.
3-2 curveball grounded shortly to Sturm. He'll play it nicely on the big hop. Strong throw to get the speedy Scarrato, excuse me, and that'll do it here in the 3rd inning. So Maury with a quick one for the evening. End of 3. West Deptford, Southern Cape, scoreless. Welcome back to Union Field in West Deptford. A quick game, top of the 4th inning here. We are scoreless as the first pitch from Trudell misses low. Kurt Sear, Billy Giannakopoulos, and Andrew Janser are the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Southern Cape here in this inning. 2-0 now to Sear. Only 1 base hit, that from Ryan Wall coming last inning for Lower Cape. West Deptford with 3 hits, 2 coming in the 1st inning. Trudell's pitch. Fastball for a strike. 2-1 here to Sear. As you see, grounded out in his last at bat. Trudell's pitch misses low. And that's ball 4. So that's the pitch there.
West Deptford Legion team is loaded. Loaded up.
Maybe I didn't. It wasn't me, you know. Here I go. I'm thinking I missed the pitch. What do I know? It's the guy who's count as integral to his at bat. So Seeger 3-1. Now that's speed up rules right there.
Yeah.
There you go. Seer, you know, that's an appropriate name. He is a seer. He's a prophet. He knew what was coming there. Ball 4.
I was going to say, West Deptford has a ton of arms. Their pitching staff is loaded with depth. You got Humphreys, Trudell, Dombrowski, Stetnich, Matson.
You know, it's interesting because some of the teams in Legion, you know, there are some teams that will not take anyone who is already graduated from high school. So you'll have some teams, the oldest players are the kids that are going into high school as a senior this upcoming year. Whereas here at West Deptford, now that's the minority, and what you see at West Deptford is more typical. But you have a lot of players here who have college experience on this West Deptford team, and that makes them all the more dangerous.
And why would they want to do that? Why would they not?
Well, it's more of a development thing. I know, for instance, Pensock and Sam Tropiano is the coach over there. He says, listen, this is a development for my high school team. And, I know, for instance, at Gibbsboro, where a lot of my players play, they don't necessarily have anyone who is in college because they denied them that opportunity, but they simply don't have anyone who plays collegiately. So, and that's not uncommon. It's obviously to West Deptford's advantage to have kids that can bring that experience at the next level.
And one could say also that although a kid may get less at bats and less playing time, he may also learn from watching kids who have gone on to college.
Oh, absolutely.
And to see how they're doing. It's almost like after your season in high school, you're kind of taking a step back and taking a look at how some other guys may be doing at the next level.
I think that's a good point. But any coach would tell you they would rather see their kids playing. Absolutely. You can't get better by watching.
Now what you could do is maybe balance that, where you have some of the kids come in and give them a chance.
It's funny because Legion is looked upon in a number of ways. Some people look upon Legion as a step above high school. Some people look at Legion as development for high school. And again, it depends on who it is that you talk to. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Giannakopoulos. On deck is Andrew Jansura. Giannakopoulos grounded out. Comebacker to Trudell.
Now I'm wondering, talking with the kids, and you probably talk to more kids than I do, being as you're a coach. How many? After the summer season, though, there's a long layoff before the high school season starts.
Ball grounded down to third base, fielded a strong throw and a nice play by West Deptford's Anthony Scarrato, and that's why people are so high on Scarrato. That was a ball that was kind of iffy as to whether it was going to stay fair. Scarrato quickly made a decision and showcased that strong arm. What looked like it may have been an infield hit was not even close. Giannakopoulos thrown out 5-3. Seeger advances to second base, and 1 out here for Jansura.
Now you get a chance to look at the arm of Anthony Scarrato, and that's, he's a quarterback, so of course he's going to have a good arm. But I'm wondering how much the summer baseball helps the kids' game for the following year because of such a layoff. You have basically 6-7 months. Well,
I think there's no question that it really helps a lot because, again, obviously it's just like anything else. The more you do something, the more adept you will be at it. And granted, there is a long time off, but then now here in South Jersey, more and more commonplace are the fall leagues, and most of them are wooden bat leagues. But and now you have, as Freddie Hill, the head coach of Rutgers University in New Brunswick, likes to call hitting shacks. You have all of these warehouses that are converted to hitting dens, more or less, and a lot of kids are, really dedicating themselves all year round. But, there's nothing like seeing live pitching. And the way to do it, of course, is during the summertime. You're at Legion or Del Valle League, Garden State League, AAE, whatever it is that they'll be playing. Tri-County, perhaps. You have a few high school kids that'll even play Tri-County. I know back when I played eons ago, I played in the Rancocas Valley League, and every once in a while I'd have a high school teammate when I was playing collegiately. 3 balls and 1 strike here, and Trudell has a runner on second base, and that is Janikopoulos. That's the first time they've had a runner at second base, and now he's behind in the count. Uncharacteristic for Trudell this evening. He's thrown more pitches already in this inning than he has in all of the previous. 3-1 here to Jansura. Dangerous hitter, obviously the cleanup hitter, with an open base. Probably Williams out there saying, listen, we have an open base here. We don't have to give in. You have on deck Randy Sturm, who...
I'm sure that's exactly what he said. Don't give him anything to hit here. You got the cleanup hitter.
Ground ball sharply in the hole, and they will hold him up at third base. So Jansura able to come up with a base hit, and Kurt Sear held at third, and I'm a little bit surprised as he already hit the bag before the ball had reached the left fielder, Matt Sanders. Typically, that's an opportunity for you to score a run, but obviously the Southern Cape coaching staff, knowing the speed of their runners a little bit better, you would think typically Sear in the second hole with good wheels, and this team not being successful against Trudell. But playing conservatively here, first and third for Randy Sturm. Sturm hit into a fielder's choice 6-4 in his first at bat.
And Sanders didn't come up really aggressive on that ball. He was kind of deep to begin with. I'm kind of surprised they didn't send him from third as well.
Trudell's first pitch smoked into left center field, and that's going to find its wall. Laid to the wall. Sturm will pick it up off the warning track, and gliding into second base, Randy Sturm with a stand-up double, a big RBI, and Southern Cape on the scoreboard first as Kurt Sear comes around to score. One out here in the fourth inning. Southern Cape on top, 1-0.
Sturm doing a nice job. Last batter comes up and gets to a 3-ball count. You figure Trudell's going to want to try and get ahead of the hitter, so he looks for a first ball fastball and just drives.
Halbrunner hit sharply to Brownell last time, grounding into a 4-6-3 double play, and a poor swing there as Halbrunner swings at the curveball from Trudell. 0-1. And we'll see whether or not Trudell will pitch around Halbrunner with the open base. On deck is Ryan Wall, who had the lone hit coming into this inning. Of course, a lot of coaches like to squeeze in this situation, and these are two teams that I don't think are very familiar with one another.
Now going back to the single that set up first and third with Jansura, during his first at bat, they were really busting him inside. Jansura is a big kid, stands about 6'3". Looks like they were trying to bust him inside so he wouldn't get those arms extended. That time with a 3-1 count, they tried to go outside on him. Of course, he got the arms extended and ripped it through the hole between short and third.
Halbrunner takes for a ball, and Halbrunner looks for third base, and he signals nothing doing there, so no real threat of the squeeze unless the signs are coming from somewhere else. Now you watch Halbrunner. He steps in the bucket right away, so he's got to be very susceptible to the outside pitch. Really opens up, and I think if Trudell works with a backdoor curveball here, then Halbrunner's going to have a tough time with it.
That might be coming here. Try to get fastball on the outside part of the plate.
That outside pitch, I think Halbrunner's going to have a tough time with that because, again, he flies wide open initially. That first stride all the way almost exaggerated towards the first baseman. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here. Southern Cape on top, 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed. And again, Trudell works on that outside corner. I don't think Halbrunner is going to be able to hit that if he continues to work on that outside portion of the plate unless he makes an adjustment.
Well, he looked like he was looking for something off speed there because he swung extremely late. Trudell just blew him away with a fastball. I think he was thinking off speed.
So with 2 outs
really
here.
A chance. Sorry about that, Rob. He didn't even really get a chance to maybe even foul that pitch off. He really swung late on that. It's a hard vantage point from this viewing, this way we're viewing the game this way. Let's get a real good look at it. But
Ryan Wall, the hitter, he's 1 for 1. Had a base hit to lead off the third inning, and he was stranded at first base. A base hit here would do some major damage, and Trudell conversely would feel real good about getting out of this jam. On deck is the Rubos, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't give in here to Ryan Wall with an open base. 2-0 here. This will be a good indicator. Fastball high and away, 3-0.
And one of the things I don't like is when you're going to intend to walk somebody and it's pretty apparent. You know, why waste the pitcher's arm with those 4 pitches and, you know, possibly get a wild pitch, a passed ball? Why don't you just send the runner to first base, giving him the intentional pass?
Well,
I know you're hoping that maybe he'll swing at something ridiculous, but if you're planning on walking a guy, and I guess, you know, there's the pitch around. Maybe you get a couple of balls in the outside part of the plate. But a lot of times you really don't see that happen.
Ryan Wall walks on 4 pitches. And Trudell, with the bases loaded, working against Rubos. Rubos swung at the first pitch. And not a particularly good swing his last at bat. He'll take for a ball. 1-0 here to Rubos. Number 8 hitter in the Southern Cape lineup. On third base, Jansura Sturm, who doubled at second. Fastball misses high, and Trudell now having a tough time locating the plate. 2-0.
And that's why that pitch around, that's why I don't like the pitch around, because, you know, basically that's what you're trying to do is pitch a couple of balls and make them chase something. The next guy comes into that, and you're almost like in a groove where, you know, you weren't finding the plate on purpose for 4 or 5 pitches. Now you got to try and locate that strike zone, and you're thrown off a little bit. That's why I don't really like the quote-unquote pitch around.
That's an interesting point. Bases are loaded here, and again, I think one of the things we keep an eye on is our runner at second base, Randy Sturm, as the coaching staff of West Deptford goes out and just tries to check things to ensure that they're all on the same page defensively, and also to kind of settle him down, allow him to refocus. There you see Gezzi speaking with Trudell, along with his teammate Brownell.
Trudell will be going into his senior year, as is Scarrato, the 2 Gloucester and Salem County. Gloucester County Times and Salem County today's Sunbeam Players of the Year.
2-0, a big pitch here with the bases loaded. Rubos takes a fastball for a strike. 2-1. Trudell able to bounce back here. 2-1. Bases are loaded. Sturm not necessarily with a very aggressive lead at second base. And again, this is with 2 outs where you definitely like to send the runner should there be a base hit. Fastball sliced into right field. Base hit. Inside out. And this will score 2 runs. Throw over to third base wildly, and that'll allow the runners to advance to second and throw. So an ill-advised throw, an error on Zach Kapler, will put Southern Cape runners in scoring position. Not the prettiest swing in the world by Rubos, but certainly effective in a pair of RBIs. Southern Cape on top, 3-0.
Terrible mistake that time by Kapler. Terrible, because there was absolutely no reason to try and throw the ball to third base. You seen the runners were stuck at first and second. They weren't going anywhere. You just throw the ball back into the infield, and for whatever reason, you wanted to try and get it over to third base.
Well, fortunately for Trudell, he's facing the number 9 hitter, so he may be able to get out of this jam. West Deptford had so many opportunities in those first 2 innings, and you see that all the time, unable to capitalize, and now it's Southern Cape that jumps out on top, 3-0. Trudell misses 1-0.
When you talk about the playoffs, people, you know, coaches always say timely hits. That's certainly correct in this game. West Deptford wasn't able to get the timely hit, getting Morey up against the ropes, but not being able to cash in. This time an 8-hole hitter. Southern Cape comes through.
Fastball misses inside, 2-0. Trudell does have an open base here, but you don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. You'll have Dustin Sturm to face with the bases loaded. Oskowski popped out to the second baseman last at bat, and that pitch misses high, 3-0. So Trudell cruised through the first 3 innings and now has found himself consistently behind the hitters here in the 4th. This is take sign all the way. And that pitch called for a strike. That's one of those 3-0 calls. High, away. As long as it's in the same area code, we're going to go with a strike there. 3-1. Big pitch here. Roskowski swings and fouls. 3-2.
Typical coach trying to just complain about the umpires.
I'm not complaining about the umpires. By the way, our umpires tonight, just to give you an idea, Andy Tomazeski behind the plate, John Algello, our third base umpire, Rusty Collins, the first base umpire. All three of these umpires, veteran umpires, they've done a nice job, and particularly behind the plate, Tomazeski's done a tremendous job. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So chases ball forward as Roskowski, and Trudell finds himself with limited damage. 3 runs in the inning. We're done with 3.5. It's Southern Cape on top, 3-0. Welcome back to West Deptford's Union Field. Bottom of the 4th inning, Southern Cape with 3 runs in the top half. On top, 3-0. In this inning, it'll be Sanders, Brownell, and Gezzi for West Deptford. And the first pitch to Sanders misses. It's 1-0. Sanders struck out swinging in his first at bat. It was a big opportunity for this West Deptford team as Sanders came to the plate, had an excellent at bat, but came away striking out. He had the bases loaded, fouled off 3 pitches with 2 strikes, but unable to come away with anything. And right now, that's pretty much the story. 3-0. Southern Cape able to string some hits together and take advantage of rare wildness by Justin Trudell. Sanders, the 2-1 count. Playing at Lynchburg in Virginia. Misses. 3 balls and 1 strike.
It was a good eye. He wanted to pull the trigger there and go after it, but he held back. This is a hitter's count now, 3-1.
3-1 pitch.
Good
This is
pitch.
a strike. Count is full. This is a big batter, really, for Maury, because anytime you have a pitcher on the mound and your team has really pumped you up, given you some support, you want to mow him down. This is low. So if you're Southern Cape coaching staff, you can't be pleased with that turn of events. So Sanders reaches base, and Jake Brownell, who walked on 5 pitches his first at bat, so officially without an at bat here at the plate.
Second baseman number 2, Jake Brownell.
Ball misses low. Unseasonably mild tonight, feels like about 70 degrees, very little humidity, and I tell you, nothing better than coming out on a nice evening to watch some great baseball. Very talented West Deptford Legion team here in a beautiful facility, and on top of it, we get the aroma of hot dogs and burgers on the grill. Talk about Americana.
I'm hungry. Yeah, I just love coming over here to Union Field. It's just a great place to watch a game. Got the planes flying out over in the center field.
As if right on cue. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brownell, leadoff hitter Sanders walked. He's at first. Changeup misses down low, and it's 3-1. And again, you know, you have a situation here, Sean, where you have Moore, he's trying to pick and be a little bit too fine, and that's when you get yourself into trouble, because now 3-1, you really have to give in.
I think I said this in the first inning. We weren't on air at the time, but he's just not been aggressive tonight whatsoever.
Brownell fouls it out of play, 3-2. So, again, deep in the count for Maury here. He's thrown 11 pitches this inning. And on the evening, he's thrown 76 pitches through 4. That's quite a bit. We don't have anybody out here in this 4th inning. Don't forget, it could have been much worse, but he forced Mike Carr into a 1-2-3 double play in the 2nd inning. 3-2 pitch, runner does not go. Pitch misses low, and again, Maury finds himself in trouble. First and second for Ray Gezzi, who grounded out to the shortstop, 6-3. Now, again, if Morey can induce a ground ball here, Gezzi does not run very well. A good situation for Southern Cape. They should be able to turn two. We'll see whether or not Tom Jones looks to lay down a bunt here, or maybe has a little hit and run to keep Gezzi out of the double play situation.
Gezzi's really hit the ball well this summer. You know, I'm usually all for sacrificing it, but I think right now Ray Gezzi, the way he's been hitting the ball, I'd let him swing away.
Of course,
you got to figure Morey wants to get ahead of the count, and he does here. He might see something to hit.
First pitch was a curveball for a strike, 0-1, and that's a mistake right there. Morey pulls up. Now the umpire's called time, but as a coach, you always instruct your pitchers to still throw the baseball. A balk would kill you in that situation. Oh, 1 pitch. Again, a big looping curveball. This one misses high, and again, hanging curveball to Ray Gezzi could quickly turn around into a tie ball game.
Another one of the reasons why I wouldn't sacrifice in this situation is he just worked the first 2 batters. He's been wild all game. Don't give him an out when he...
Ground ball back to Morey. Morey will go 3, and the third baseman throws over to first. Not in time. Now, Morey again would have been better served probably going to second base. Opted to get the lead runner, so no harm there. Gezzi, with the fielder's choice, will score that 1-5. And Sanders forced out over at third base, so Brownell at second base, Gezzi at first with 1 out for Zach Kapler, who singled in his first at bat.
It looked like his momentum, Morey, after catching the ball, fielding the ball, kind of took him toward third base. And I guess at this point you want him to make sure he gets the out, and he does get the lead runner. If he wheels and turns around and throws it to second, if he's off balance and his haste to get it over there, he could possibly throw it into center field.
Interesting there as Kapler squares to bunt. Didn't look like he was really dragging there, so trying to set the table for Lacey. Kapler 1 for 1 on the evening. 0-1 to Zach Kapler. Now Kapler, an interesting story because he came here to play Legion ball to pitch, which he does down at Belmont Abbey, but you know, he said, I'd like to play the field, and he has really contributed and found himself into the starting lineup. 0-2. Now again, so often younger pitchers get themselves in a situation where 0-2 and then they let down and give up a fat pitch 0-2. And that's not what you want to do, and that's a good idea there as Morey looks to go upstairs to see if Kapler will fish after it. He does not. 1-2, but a good idea by Morey. Curveball. Kapler does well to just kind of serve it foul. And Kapler battling at the plate. A good 2-strike approach here by Zach Kapler.
A nice pitch that time by Morey. Just a nice curveball, trying to get the outside part of the plate. Another excellent job by Kapler as well to just get a piece of that and stay alive at 1-2. West Deptford trailing 3-0. Kapler would like nothing more here than to tie this game. He does have a home run on the year.
Check swing, ground ball over to second base. They'll only have time to get Kapler, and they do. So wise decision there by Southern Cape's Evan Roskowski to simply go over to first base. Kapler grounds out 4-3. That allows Brownell to advance to third and Gezzi over to second. And Lacey will head to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out to the shortstop.
About to West Deptford, center fielder number 20, Jonathan Lacey.
Lacey had a terrific year at the high school level. Transferred it right here to summer ball.
Curveball for a strike. Lacey will be attending Rider University. And Rider, of course, with a new head coach, but an old name around these parts, Barry Davis, and there will be no surprise from me anyway if Rider becomes very successful. I tell you, Barry Davis, tremendous coach. Long drive into deep left field. Lacey watches, and this ball's gone. Lacey with a 3-run towering home run, and we are tied.
Lacey just caught something upstairs.
Well, we mentioned before a hanging curveball to Gezi, and it could be a 3-all game. Instead, it's a hanger to Lacey, and we're back square, 3-3.
Left it up, and Lacey just tomahawked it over the left field fence. And that quickly, game's tied. West Deptford finally takes advantage.
Now, we mentioned
working himself into trouble
2 innings ago that Maury, his teammates didn't really help him out because they quickly 1, 2, 3 straight outs on 3 straight pitches. And I said a lot of times it's not that next inning that affects you, it's the following inning. And I think you see that here. Maury once again finds himself, he really started to find his rhythm in that 2nd and 3rd inning. And then, you know, I think the fatigue sets in because you're still on the adrenaline. And now all of a sudden he's behind in the count, and as a result we have a 3-all game. A little flare into right center field, converging 3 players, and the ball will find itself over the head of the second baseman, Roskowski. So Michael Carr with a base hit, his 2nd of the evening. And with 2 outs, West Deptford continuing to put the pressure on.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rod. I mean, you certainly could think it's right now fatigue with this young man. He's got a lot of pitches in 4 innings. You know, a lot of pitches in 6, 7 innings. At this particular rate, he has probably getting near 100, right?
Well, he has 87 pitches thus far. Now 88 pitches here in just 4 innings.
Right, in just 4 innings. You know, if 88 in 6 innings, it's not nearly as bad, but 88 in 4.
Ball misses low. John Humphreys, also very dangerous, the 3-hole hitter for this West Deptford Legion team. 2-0, Maury finds himself. Hitter's count here. And again, off speed for a strike, 2-1. Now, Maury's, obviously, his game is not to overpower you with the fastball. But despite that, you still have a tough time if you're going to be consistently behind in the count, which he was in the early innings and once again in this inning. And a fastball swung through by Humphreys, count evens at 2. We'll see how long they keep Maury. Pitch is in the dirt. Stealing on the play, it's Carr. So Carr with the stolen base. Count goes full to Humphreys. Jason Williams on deck.
Carr now 2nd on the team in steals with 11. Behind Lacey's 21.
Curveball popped up into left field. And left fielder for Southern Cape, Kurt Sear, easily under it for the 3rd out. But the harm is done. A 3-run home run by John Lacey, the big blast. We're done with 4 here at West Deptford's Union Field, and we're tied at 3. We start the 5th inning here. Dustin Sturm serves one up into center field, and Sturm on board for the first time this inning. First pitch swinging base hit. Sturm, the leadoff hitter for Southern Cape, both in the lineup and in this inning. So Sturm on base for Kurt Sear, the number 2 hitter. Sear 0 for 1, grounded out and scored after walking last inning. See if Sturm tries to utilize that speed. First pitch from Trudell misses way outside. It's 1-0.
Oh, it's tough to run on this guy behind the plate. Williams has just a terrific arm. He's very accurate.
Trudell's pitch once again missing high, 2-0. And just as I said with Maury, how important it is for him to come and have an effective inning. He was not able to do so. Same is the case here for Trudell because his team battled back, tying the game for him, and he really needs to have a strong performance in this 5th inning. Fastball misses high once again, 3-0, and we do have some activity in the West Deptford bullpen. 3-0 to Kurt Sear. On deck, it's Giannakopoulos. And all 4 pitches not close to the strike zone. So first and second now. And that'll bring up Billy Giannakopoulos for Southern Cape, and Jason Williams again will go out and try to settle Justin Trudell. There you see Trudell talking with Gezzi and Scarato. Trudell's typically not a pitcher that has control problems, but a bit of an off night thus far, as he has walked 1, 2, 3, 4 batters already through 4+ innings. Giannakopoulos, the number 3 hitter, swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone, and that's why coaches go gray. 4 straight balls, Sean. Next pitch up high, and we're swinging. Squares the bunt. Misses low. Now again, that's a coach who says, you know what? If you're going to swing at that, then I think we need to bunt. You can't fault them. 1 ball and 1 strike here to the 3-hole hitter, Giannakopoulos. He is grounded out to the pitcher and to the third baseman, Scarato, who made a fine play in that 4th inning.
Those are the little things that really drive a coach crazy, and even fans as well. 4 straight balls way out of the strike zone.
Right now, Justin Trudell is really struggling. You have essentially what looks to me as Giannakopoulos just having a fake bunt, because his technique was very poor. I don't think that he was necessarily meaning to bunt there. And Trudell not even close to the strike zone. 2-1, the 1 strike where Giannakopoulos helped him. That pitch misses outside. It's now 3-1.
And now it doesn't look like he's throwing. It looks like he's aiming. You know, especially when a guy who doesn't have control problems, it really works into his head. And you're trying to find the strike zone, you can't do it, and you're just aiming the ball.
Ball 4. Very surprised that Stern took a very conservative lead at second base with his speed, but it didn't matter, as once again a walk issued by Trudell, and quickly trouble here for West Deptford. Bases are loaded, nobody out, your cleanup hitter, and the coaching staff will head out to the mound, and it looks like he's going to point over to the bullpen. We'll see whether or not he opts to go to the bullpen. May buy himself a little bit of time here to allow the bullpen to warm. Cannot pick up a jersey number out there, and Trudell is done for the evening. So we will have a pitching change here. Bases are loaded. Sturm, the leadoff base hit on the first pitch. After that, a 4-pitch walk to Sear and a 5-pitch walk to Giannakopoulos finds West Deptford in trouble. We're tied at 3 here in the top of the 5th inning. And we'll see who comes in here for West Deptford. And it looks like it's going to be Christopher Matson, who was a senior here at West Deptford this past season.
Now pitching number 22, Chris Matson.
Matson comes into a big spot in the game, bases loaded, nobody out, facing the Southern Cape cleanup hitter. He's got his work cut out for him, Cindy.
Jan Sora has been on base each of the 2 times he has come to the plate. He has walked and he has singled, and he has scored a run. So you see some of the crowd here on a beautiful evening at West Deptford's Union Field, the home of the West Deptford Eagles, and of course also the home of this West Deptford Legion team. As you mentioned before, Sean, Washington Township took on Lakewood earlier this evening in other American Legion action, defeating Lakewood 7-4. And West Deptford would like nothing better than to make it a Gloucester County sweep here tonight.
And Brooklawn went up to New Brunswick. They were the 3rd seed out of this region, or out of this league. And Haddon Heights through a 4-team playoff earlier last week. As we're watching this tape delay, you're watching this on tape delay. Haddon Heights was the 4th team. They went to Ewing Township. So 4 teams out of the league get into what is called now the state tournament. This is the tournament we're watching here. West Deptford last year, the runner-up in that tournament. Haddon Heights, the winner. Both teams going on to the World Series.
That's his first pitch. Wild gets away from Williams, striking at Sturm, and he'll come in, sliding in for the 4th run, and Southern Cape takes the lead 4-3. Wild pitch by Matson. Williams really did not have a chance on that. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, and an open base now for Jansura, but with control problems from Matson, they'll probably go right at him. West Deptford opts to play the infield back up the middle, and now they'll start to creep in. Now they'll play it in. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
And that one just totally got away from Matson on the first pitch. That's what you always have to worry about as a coach, pulling somebody in with the bases loaded. Warming out in the pen, but when you get on that mound, it's a different story.
2 balls and a strike here to Jansura. Randy Sturm is on deck. Randy Sturm with the big double in the 4th inning. So the meat of the order here for Southern Cape. Matson in a tough spot. Fastball misses down low. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Or excuse me, 3 balls and 1 strike, as he missed high with the 3rd pitch. So it's 3-1. Hitters count here for the cleanup man, Andrew Jansura.
Check where the outfielders are playing, too. Check where the outfielders are playing. 3-1. Balls out there, Andrew. A lot of balls.
Fastball for a strike. So Matson with good velocity, and the count will go full here to Jansura.
Big spot in this game right here.
The 3-2. Fastball misses low and away, and Jansura walks. So Matson issues the walk to Jansura. No harm there with the open base. Bases are loaded now, and Randy Sturm, who had the big hit in that 4th inning on the double. Start things off. Rubos, the number 8 hitter, with a 2 RBI single, but Sturm really allowing Southern Cape to generate some confidence with that gapper into left center field. Matson's first pitch misses away. 1-0.
West Deptford playing the infield in.
I'm a little surprised up the middle. I would think up the middle they play it back and try to turn 2, but instead they have it all the way in.
And what this allows is your guy that's leading off 2nd. Guy leading off 2nd really gets a huge lead. Any type of single in the outfield, he's going to be able to come around pretty easily. Playing those runners, or playing those 2nd and short. And I'm really surprised as well, Rob, because with the West Deptford lineup, you give up 1 run if you're able to trade it.
Right. Curveball driven into left center field. This ball going way back, finds its way in the hole, rolls back to the fence, and being wheeled around, it's a Southern Cape, and there's going to be a play at the plate. Williams does not come up with the ball. Coming around to score, it's Jansura, a 3-run double for Randy Sturm. His 2nd double of the evening, and it's a big one.
Like Matson just left that out over the plate again. Up a little bit. Once you get the ball up, you always say it. When the guy's leaving the ball up a little bit, he's going to get knocked around pretty hard.
Well, again, here, West Deptford forced to play the infield, and Williams made a critical mistake there because, again, he's trying to essentially tag the runner before the ball comes. And obviously, if the throw comes late, you miss him, but you don't allow that runner to advance to 3rd base. And essentially drawing that infield in. It's a good way to hit if you're Chris Halbrunner. Now again, you see they consistently to work on that outside part of the plate. They have noticed, as we have upstairs, that Halbrunner really flies wide open. I just can't see Halbrunner being able to handle that outside pitch. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out into a double play and struck out. And swinging at the pitch well up in the strike zone, and he's a strikeout victim again.
That's where you don't mind it, putting the ball up there. You got a 2-strike count. He does a nice job nibbling the outside part of the plate. That time he goes way upstairs, and you just try to get the, you know, it's hard to catch up with a fastball that's high. That is that high.
Ryan Wall swings at the curveball, low and away. So, first pitch strike. Wall walked on 4 pitches his last at bat and singled in his first at bat. So he's been on base both times. He takes a strike again. So Matson now settling in. And big at bat here as Ryan Wall, with 1 out, needs to put the ball into play. If he can get it on the ground, he has a good opportunity. A fly ball would likely score the runner at third base. Called strike 3 as Matson delivers on the curveball. Wall goes down looking. So 2 strikeouts in a row now for Matson, who has found his stride, and Rubo steps into the plate. 1 for 2. He had that 2 RBI single in the 4th inning. Southern Cape on top 7-3.
Mike, come up big again. Mike, come up big again.
Fastball misses away. 1-0.
West Everett coming into this game 27-5. Again, the #1 ranked team here in this league.
Swung on and missed. Rubus unable to catch up to the fastball of Matson. I think when you see this Southern Cape lineup, there's just a tremendous disparity between the 1 and 6 hitters, or 1 and 5 hitters really, and then it seems as though they kind of tuck Ryan Wall in there. And a good late breaking curveball by Matson. And other than on the last 4 hitters, other than Wall, I think it's a precipitous drop off. 1-2 pitch. Matson. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3. So Matson strikes out 3 in a row, but not before yielding up a big 3-run double by Randy Sturm. We head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Southern Cape on top 7-3. Welcome back to West Deptford's Union Field, bottom of the 5th inning, with Southern Cape, a surprising 7-3 leader here. Jason Williams at the plate takes a pitch for a strike. Williams has flown out to center field and grounded out to the shortstop.
Good curve that time. Worked real well from Morey. Now this is the double elimination, Rob. So either team loses this game, they have a chance to battle back in this region. This has always been one of the toughest regions because of the league that this area provides, with Brooklawn, one of the top teams every year. West Deptford is the strikeout there. West Deptford has become one of the best teams in the state. Haddon Heights is one of the best teams. And of course, Washington Township also a terrific team every year. And then you mix in some of them other programs out there where you're coaching. This is a pretty tough league.
2 strikeouts now from Morey.
Gloucester Township's another team that has been good for the last couple of years.
Anthony Scarrato has walked and grounded out to the shortstop. So again, Morey able to face Scarrato with no one on base here, with 1 out in the 5th inning. Curveball misses away, and it's now 2-0.
You know, I mean, you think about it, other than Lacey's bomb, West Deptford hasn't really hit the ball. It's really stung the ball off of Morey. He's really hurt himself in a couple of balls that saw its way through the infield for a couple of singles. They haven't really been pounding him. He's been really hurting himself.
3-0 now to Scarrato. And we'll see whether or not he has the green light. And he'll take ball 4. So Scarrato at first with 1 out, and Matt Sanders will step to the plate. Sanders has struck out and walked. Morey now has hit the 100 pitch mark on the evening.
I think you'll be surprised to know that Anthony Scarrato, coming into today, he had 65 at-bats. What would you guess his walk total would be?
On top of the 65 at-bats, I'd say he's probably walked maybe 15 times.
Only 6 times.
Only 6 times. I would think that more teams would pitch around him.
And maybe the most surprising number on the stat sheet, he's yet to hit a home run this summer.
Sanders takes for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jake Brownell on deck. Brownell has walked twice tonight. So right now, West Deptford just interested in trying to generate some base runners. Morey's pitch and just misses. And I think Morey, along with Ryan Wall, wanted that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Morey serving up a steady diet of curveballs and now throws the fastball low. It's 3-1. Pitch for a strike. So the fastball hits the corner. Count is full to Matt Sanders. Scarrato with very good speed at first base. We'll see if he goes on the 3-2 pitch. Down by a 7-3 score. He does not. And check swing, and he went. So Sanders strikes out again, his second on the evening. And that'll bring up Jake Brownell. Morey just would not give in, again going off speed there, and I think that really fooled Sanders.
Second baseman, Jake Brownell.
Well, Morey reminds me of, you're going to compare him to a major league pitcher. Somebody like Al Leiter, a guy who you're not going to really hit him too hard, but he's going to get his share of walks and pitches around guys. Isn't afraid to throw a 3-2 curveball, an off-speed pitch in that situation. He's really a guy who, he must frustrate a lot of hitters.
Brownell skies one into right field, and coming on to it is the right fielder, Randy Sturm. He'll camp under it for the 3rd out. So they strand Scarrato here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base, and we are through 5 innings. It's Southern Cape on top of West Deptford, 7-3. Welcome back to West Deptford High School, or excuse me, West Deptford's Union Field. 7-3 here as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Southern Cape, a little rain falling apparently. 1 strike here. I'm sorry, having a little bit of fun upstairs here. Evan Roskowski leading things off here. 1 ball and 1 strike to the number 9 hitter, Roskowski. 0 for 2 on the evening. Takes the ball 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Matson, fouled away. So Roskowski with a 2-2 count. Dustin Sturm, the leadoff man, on deck. The 2-2 delivery. Curveball nicely done by Matson, and Matson now with 4 strikeouts. All of his strikeouts, 3 of them swinging.
He has good command right now, and what he's doing a real nice job is he's keeping the hitters off balance with his curve. His fastball, he's got a nice live fastball, Rob. You said it earlier when he first came in. He's got good velocity on it.
Matson just 5'9", 190. Was a senior this past year at West Deptford, so his high school career is done. First pitch is a strike to Sturm.
Totally fooled Dustin Strum on that pitch.
Pop up, and it's Brownell who will have no trouble with this. So the first out, that's not a strikeout, but I'm sure Matson has no problem with that. 2 outs quickly here in this 6th inning, and again, a quick inning as it's just been 7 pitches thrown. You'd like to see Sear, if you're the Southern Cape coaching staff, maybe take a pitch here.
Well, Sear has certainly done that tonight. He's walked a couple of times.
No balls and 1 strike to Sear. And Sear cues 1 foul. 0-2.
Sear's your, if you're going to build a second hole hitter, Sear's that type of guy, at least the way he's played here tonight. Left-hander that if, your runner gets on first, you're going to get that open hole on the right side.
It's going to take a lot of pitches to allow him to run.
A lot of pitches, right. So
yeah. Sear strikes out. So Matson striking out 5 of the 6 batters he has faced. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Time running out on West Deptford, but they will have the 8-9-1 hitters coming to the plate as we head to break at 7-3 Southern Cape. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ray Gezzi to lead things off here for West Deptford. They trail 7-3. First pitch is a curveball for a strike to Gezzi. Gezzi has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out to the shortstop. 0-for-2 on the evening. Zach Kapler on deck. Gezzi fouls it out of play, so Morey quickly ahead 0-2 here in this 6th. Curveball, and I tell you, not a bad pitch, but Ryan Wall popped out of his stance, and you're not going to get that pitch if you do that as a catcher. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wall may have been crossed up there. 1-2 delivery from Morey. And that pitch misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Gezzi. Gezzi, a nice job of hitting, finds the gap, and you see the power of Ray Gezzi as he just took that outside pitch into right center field, hit it all the way back to the wall, and he's in easily with a stand-up double. Just what the doctor ordered here for West Deptford. Nobody out, and Gezzi leads off with the double.
That's a good piece of hitting. Sometimes you just need to go with a pitch and drive it. Gezzi at 230 pounds, thick kid, good upper body strength. Just
looked good on the Paulsboro football team. Just not too long, Sean. Got 6 more weeks and we're in football mode again.
Another month, we'll be at spring training.
Fly ball into center field. Underneath it is Giannakopoulos. He'll field it easily, and faking the tag is Gezzi. So 1 out here as Kapler swings at the first pitch and flies out. That'll bring up John Lacey. Lacey, 1 for 2. He's walked, grounded out, and he's accounted for all of the West Deptford runs on a towering 3-run home run in the 4th inning. As we mentioned, Lacey headed to Rider University. He'll play for Barry Davis, and anyone from Gloucester County very familiar with Barry Davis. He took that Gloucester County College team to quite a few World Series appearances. I know my assistant coach, Andrew Colinero, with a couple of World Series rings from Gloucester County under Coach Davis.
Yeah.
Tremendous leader, tremendous coach.
He is. And one of the things that he worked hard too, you'd always see him at the local high school games, looking at games, seeing if he could possibly get a future couple of players from whatever game he was attending.
I think you'll really see him make an imprint on that Rider University team with some of the talent that you see around South Jersey. There's no question about that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball misses low. It's 2-1.
I think you're right. I think Rider really helped their baseball program, and you're going to see an immediate impact with Coach Davis here. He's a terrific coach, terrific guy. It's good to see him back in New Jersey.
2-1 pitch for a strike. It's 2-2. A rare fastball by Morey. Gezzy at second base. He doubled. Curveball. And that's wasted by Lacey. So Lacey swinging at those borderline pitches as you have to with the 2-2 count. On deck, it's Mike Carr. And then you get into that potent part of the West Deptford lineup with Humphreys, Williams, and Scarrato. And coming out, it's the pitching coach for Southern Cape, as there is some activity in their bullpen. And he'll check to see how he is holding up. Again, let's take a look coming into this inning. He did eclipse the 100 pitch mark. He had 109 pitches coming into this inning. So thus far this inning, he has thrown 5, 6, 10. So he's at 119 right now.
Little reunion's over with his coach.
Two pitch. Morey. Fastball misses low. And I think, you know, one of the things that probably his coach went out to talk to him about is, listen, we have a 4-run lead. What we don't want to do is create base runners. Make them earn it if they come back in this one. And that's why you saw Morey going to the fastball there. Fastball again, just misses outside. Ball 4 to Lacey. So runners on first and second, and Mike Carr now.
Yeah, Southern Cape fans really wanted that call. And this is where it gets a little dangerous. I think they're probably going to, they're going to take Morey out now.
So Morey will leave the game. He cannot lose the game. Of course, he can win the game. He's thrown quite a few pitches tonight, as we mentioned, but he's done a great job. He has battled in every situation, and that's what the relief staff of Southern Cape will be forced to do here.
We're at Union Field. Great facility.
7-3. Let's have a recap of tonight's game. First inning, West Deptford really threatened with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Matt Sanders striking out on a full count after an excellent at-bat, fouling pitch after pitch away. And then the second inning, Morey again, the pitcher for Southern Cape, found himself into trouble, had bases loaded once again in the second inning, and forced Mike Carr into a 1-2-3 double play. After that, Southern Cape and West Deptford went quietly in the third. The fourth inning, 3 runs from Southern Cape. The big hit, a Randy Sturm double, followed up by a Mike Rubos 2-run single. And then it was John Lacey with a 3-run home run in that fourth inning to tie things up. And then in the fifth, Justin Trudell with some control problems, and Mattson came in to relieve him after Trudell had yielded a run. Randy Sturm with a 3-run double and 4 runs in the inning. That's where we are, 7-3. Runners on first and second now for West Deptford, and 1 out in the 6th inning.
This is Mark Caesar on the mound. There's a Philadelphia skyline.
Just another
great view here.
Just another great element of this Union Field, you know. The fact that you have a view all the way here from our press box on top of a beautiful facility. Mike Carr to the plate. He has singled twice and grounded into a double play. Caesar's first pitch. Fastball for a strike.
I left the Caltabiano family reunion today to come to this game, and you couldn't come to a better place. If I had to leave the Caltabiano family reunion, this is probably the only place I would do it. It's great to watch a baseball game here.
No question. And again, the weather is fantastic. Rain
Oh,
was
the weather, I mean, just
forecast,
terrific.
but very low humidity, cool. Fouled away by Carr, and quickly Caesar ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Carr. And this is a big out because then you get into Humphreys, Williams, and Scarrato.
Humphreys the team leader in home runs with 10, Rob. So a lot of people have talked about Humphreys.
Carr with very good
pitch,
speed, so it's going to be tough to turn a double play, although they have turned one on him already. And again, a defensive swing nicely done as taking it deep in the plate and serving it down right field, foul. Carr battling here with a 1-2 count. Mike Carr, as we mentioned. West Virginia Wesleyan. Playing his college ball.
Carr, another one of the Pennsville products under Ryan Wood. And you match Ryan Wood, Sean McKenna. We got a couple of good coaches that are learning the game coming to this Legion team.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Carr. Caesar doesn't want to go 3-2 here. Fastball flying into right field, down the line, and drifting foul. A long run for the right fielder, Sturm. Unable to track it down, and still battling. It's Mike Carr. Good at bat here for Carr. Second base, Gezzi, he doubled. First base, Lacey, he walked. Line drive into left field, and tracking it down, it's Southern Cape. A fine play made by the left fielder, Kurt Sear. As Sear able to track that down. Didn't take a particularly good angle initially, but able to use his athleticism to make up for his mistake. And Carr flies deeply, the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he looked uncomfortable right off the bat when he got his jump wasn't that good. He took a bad angle. He got back. It looked like he also wasn't too sure where the wall was. Got back to the warning track, but the ball he's able to camp under it a little bit. Hauled in.
2 outs now. Humphreys popped up. It's the shortstop calling, and it's going to be Dustin Sturm who takes it. So Humphreys pops out to end the inning. Despite 2 runners on base, West Deptford unable to cash in. We'll head to the 7th inning with Southern Cape on top, 7-3. Welcome back to West Deptford's Union Field, top of the 7th inning. First pitch to the cleanup hitter, Billy Giannakopoulos, swung on a missed. 0-1 from Matson. It's Giannakopoulos, Jansura, and Sturm, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Ground ball to the shortstop. Backhanded, long, strong throw there. And 1 out here. You see the strong arm of Mike Carr.
Yeah, it was a terrific play by Carr. He almost slipped. That short, nice backhanded stab, good arm. And West Deptford now, they're down to 3 outs.
You got
an upset loss against Southern Cape. It would be a big win for Southern Cape.
No question about that. The left side of this West Deptford infield, you have 2 cannons over there. And that's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's no surprise that West Deptford comes into this game 27-5 because it's not all offense on this team, and they're very fine defensively as well. Jansura swings and misses the first pitch. 0-1 to Jansura. Quickly now 0-2. Matson has been very effective after settling down. Remember, Matson came in the game, threw a wild pitch, and then walked Jansura, and then yielded that 3-run double. And there's a double, or excuse me, a line drive down left field. I was getting ahead of myself there. Jansura with a base hit off of Matson. So Jansura has really done a nice job for this team. He has walked twice, he has a pair of singles, and he has scored twice. So No surprise that Jan Sora productive out of that cleanup spot. That'll bring up Randy Sturm, and Sturm has really done the damage here for this team with a pair of doubles tonight and also reach base on a fielder's choice. 1-0 here to Sturm.
He's had a heck of a night. You look, if Southern Cape holds on to win this game, this guy is certainly their MVP for the night. I mean, he's done a terrific job stroking the ball, finding the gap in left center.
Ground ball to the hole. Scarrato picks it nicely over to Brownell. Back to first. Gezzi. 5-4-3 double play. And again, a tremendous play there by Scarrato. You really have to like the way he plays the game. I mean, comes up, makes it look so easy. And I tell you, that's not an easy play. He picks it cleanly off the short hop and makes a fine throw with a lot on it right to the chest of Brownell. And Brownell had an easy time of it turning too. I'm telling you right now, it looked very easy, but that is a difficult play.
You're right, exactly. It's not easy to pick that short hop clean. Comes up, throws a strike over to Brownell.
With a lot on it.
Yeah, with a lot on it. And then just, it makes Brownell's job very easy because you don't have a guy bearing right into you as much as he would have if the ball was tossed a little bit slower.
There you see our line scores. 7 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for Southern Cape. West Deptford, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. West Deptford, if they fall short in this game, they can only blame themselves. The first 2 innings with bases loaded in each inning, unable to come away with anything. In fact, in that second inning, they had 1 out on the bases loaded and hit into a double play to end things. So it looked like they had Morey on the ropes early, unable to clinch the deal. And here in the bottom of the 7th inning, they'll have to put together quite a rally. It'll be Williams, Scarrato, and Sanders. So pretty much who you want there if you're West Deptford, your 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Williams is 0 for 3. He has flown to center, grounded out to shortstop, and struck out swinging.
And what Caesar's got to do here is you just can't get cute. You got to go. You got a 4-run lead. You need 3 outs. So you don't need to get, you don't need to get too cute. You just fire at him, let your defense play behind you.
1-0 pitch to Williams. Fouled away. It's 1-1.
As you look at this West Deptford lineup, it doesn't really slack off once you get lower. I mean, they're pretty jam-packed with some guys who can really knock the ball around. You start walking a couple of guys, someone can turn on a pitch quickly and tie this game up.
Your bench isn't too shabby either. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know that as good as anybody with a guy like Cloping on the bench. Came off who ripped a 3-run home run against you guys.
That's correct, during the high school season. Now they have a lot of bench players that would start for a lot of teams in Legion. Fly to right field, and quickly 1 out here in the 7th inning. That'll bring up Scarrato. He has walked twice, and he is grounded out to the shortstop. So probably see Caesar challenge Scarrato here. Why not? It's 7-3. A nice cushion for Southern Cape. Swung on and missed. Strike 1 to Scarrato. Scarrato's had quite a bit of activity in his home from college coaches, both from a football and a baseball standpoint. Many Division I schools very interested in Scarrato in both sports.
Probably the most highly recruited football player and baseball player to come out of West Deptford. And I know Clyde Folsom, the football coach, is saying there's these 30 or 40 big Division I schools coming after this guy.
Of course, Tom Walls heavily recruited as well. Last year, he's on his way to Boston College. And Caesar backs Scarrato off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Scarrato, the third baseman. As we mentioned, this is a double elimination tournament. Called strike 3. And that pitch looked low from up here. And Scarrato thought so, but nonetheless, 2 outs here in this 7th inning, and Sanders will come to the plate.
Left fielder, Mike Sanders.
Sanders has struck out twice and walked. Caesar's done a nice job coming in to settle this Southern Cape team down. He misses high with the ball, 1-0. Remember, Caesar came in with 1 out and runners on first and second, and they quickly induced a fly out to Mike Carr and a pop out to John Humphreys to end any threat for West Deptford in that 6th inning.
Tell you what, it's got to be hard for Caesar to field anything because he really falls off of that mound once he releases. Comes almost like a sidearm type pitch, Rob.
Yeah, it really drops down a la Tom Seaver. Drives with that back leg. And that pitch misses high and away. It's now 3 balls and a strike to Sanders. Brownell on deck. And that's ball 4. So West Deptford trying to generate something here with 2 outs. A walk to Sanders, his second on the evening, and Brownell will head in. He has walked twice as well, and he has flown out to the right fielder.
Tell you, the way Caesar falls off that mound toward first base and as deep as the third baseman is, if you laid a little bunt and able to push it down that third baseline a little bit, there is absolutely no shot.
Brownell takes for a strike. Gezzi on deck, number 8 hitter. He doubled in his last appearance. West Deptford in need of base runners. Ball fouled away, and now West Deptford down to their last strike. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jake Brownell.
Brownell will be celebrating his birthday in 2 days.
Well, he would like nothing better than a West Deptford victory here, and he'll need to get on base for that to happen. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Caesar slams the door shut with 2 strikeouts in this 7th inning. And Southern Cape, a big upset victory over West Deptford here at Union Field, 7-3. And the story tonight really was their right fielder, Randy Sturm, a pair of doubles and 4 RBI. And Randy Sturm really a thorn in the side of this West Deptford team tonight. And as we mentioned before, Sean, West Deptford really with themselves to blame because West Deptford started tonight with bases loaded in this 1st inning. Once again, bases loaded in the 2nd inning and came up empty.
Yeah, and that timely hitting. You know, Southern Cape was able to come out and got a couple of timely hits throughout the game, and West Deptford wasn't able to. You know, once you get the pitcher on the ropes, the way he was struggling early with his control, you need to try and cash in there, and especially with the 1-out situation. That's the one where you look back. I mean, double plays, those things are going to happen. It just, you know, it was one of them games where Morey just almost a frustrating game for West Deptford. Where, you know, when you have a team that can really hit the ball the way West Deptford does, and you have a pitcher who's not throwing strikes, that's almost frustrating to a hitter. They want to go up there and swing. When you have a guy who's nibbling around, you know, he's walking a couple of guys, but getting out of the innings, that just really destroys a team like West Deptford because they're such a good hitting team. So, you know, this is a double elimination. So obviously West Deptford has a shot to come back in this tournament and move on. However, this is a huge, huge win for Southern Cape, for them to get this type of an upset, giving them confidence going into this tournament.
Well, you mentioned before Southern Cape, you know, probably knowing quite a bit about this West Deptford team. This West Deptford team, one that is really maybe one of the prohibitive favorites, not only in this area, but also the state of New Jersey, coming in as the top-ranked team, a 27-5 record. And they probably know how potent this lineup is. And as you mentioned, Sean, probably a good idea to throw someone that throws a lot of off-speed pitches, try to neutralize that power, and that's something that they were able to do. Conversely, you have to give them a lot of credit because it looked like they came out a little bit flat initially, but they really came away with some timely hitting.
Yeah, that's what it was, some timely hitting. You got to give Sturm some credit. He had a couple of nice hits there, the pair of doubles. And, you know, you have to look at this West Deptford team and its lineup now. This might just fire them up a little bit. That's something that they might need, you know. If they're going 27-5, I guess you give it, you know, you have a couple of tournaments that you go into and play. And, you know, the #1 ranked team, this might be the game that fires them up a little bit and gets them going into the tournament play.
Absolutely.
And it needs to, because it's either now or never. You're in a do-or-die situation.
That's
now.
exactly right. This is a double elimination tournament, as we mentioned, and of course, you know, it's not uncommon for the top teams to lose a game along the way, but West Deptford really in a tough spot now, losing the first game, but don't be surprised because this West Deptford team's so very deep. If you do see them able to rebound, but again, this has to be a wake-up call for this West Deptford team in order for them to be successful in these American Legion playoffs. Well, once again, thanks for joining us here from West Deptford's Union Field. A beautiful evening for baseball. Once again, your final score, West Deptford 7, or excuse me, Southern Cape 7, West Deptford 3. For my partner, Sean Leary, and my producer, Kevin Lamastra, I'm Rob Christ. Thanks for joining us once again. Good night, everybody.